The first card you've got for your past is this King of Wands. So this king always looks a little bit like, you know, should I stay or should I go? That old song, should I stay or should I go? So he's sitting there, and this wand looks a bit like a walking stick, actually. It looks like he's ready to get up and move, but he's not. He's just kind of sitting there. He's thinking, oh, I have to think fast. I don't know. So what I'm getting here is I'm getting a group here, and I think you might be on the verge of actually leaving some of these people in this group, because there's a little bit of an awkwardness around this group, if this resonates with you. I'm not sure if it's a friendship or a family group. It feels like it might be a friendship. It might not be. I might find out more later on. But there is some kind of group where everyone's very close, or they were, and there's some kind of awkwardness around there now. It feels different. It's like, this doesn't feel the same. And should I stay here? Should I walk? I like some of these people. I want to keep in touch, but then the dynamic's really upset. And so I don't know whether you know this or not, but I think someone in this group, it's making things a little bit awkward, because I'm seeing a little bit of problem. I'm seeing a little bit of backstabbing and things like that, because I'm just looking at this Five of Swords as well down here, which is about that. So I think someone might be trying to split people up for some reason. And there's something around this, that they've got some loyalties to someone, and they don't like someone else, and they're trying to kind of make a big problem here. So I have to be honest, if this is you, if you're kind of on the verge of what will I do about this? Should I stand up, sit down? I don't know what to do. I actually don't think you can do a lot about this, because I really think what's going to happen in the end is with this group, it is going to just split. It's going to split apart, and I don't think anyone can do anything about that. I'm actually seeing an argument that's brewing, and I think you can feel that tension if that's you. And it's going to split into two groups, or maybe even more groups. But yeah, if this is you, this is what I'm getting here. Try and be around people that you feel the most comfortable with. If you can, try and see them by themselves, even as, you know, one-on-one or something like that. Because, yeah, this split's going to happen. I'm seeing that really clearly. This split's going to happen, and I think it might even be a permanent split, actually. So, but what's going to happen to you is, I think you're going to end up with the right people around you. That's what I'm getting here. So it feels really tense now, if that's you, and obviously when all this is going on, it's going to be really tense. But then after the dust settles, I think what will happen is you'll end up with just a few people around you who are truly with you. So I think it's going to be the best thing for you. Because yeah, just look across the top here, horizontally. So you've got this king here, this King of Wands. And then right next to that, you've got this Seven of Cups, which is a really confusing card. Lots of confusion. People are kept in the dark. They don't know if this person's causing problems. They're really confused. So that there's all that in that Seven of Cups. And then right next to that on the right, you've got the Three of Cups. So what that's showing you is when you get out of this confusion with this group and you end up with fewer people, you'll have a much more enjoyable time. You have a much better time. Look at how they're enjoying themselves. So you'll feel a lot closer, you'll feel a lot better, a lot more comfortable, a lot happier when you're with just those few people you need. And it might literally be 3 people. It might just be you and 2 other people, but that's fine. I don't think you mind that, because I think you like one-on-one conversations. You like having fewer people around you anyway. But it is very stressful when this kind of thing happens. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing in that situation, if that resonates with you. I know that's a bit specific, but that's what I'm getting there. So yeah, okay, with this, yeah, I'm just looking at this Five of Swords and the Ten of Wands down there as well. I'm looking at the 2 of them here. So yeah, I'm getting a breakup here. And maybe that might be part of what's messing up this dynamic of this group, or it might be something to do with another group. Because if it's a family, sometimes, you know, when people break up, there are family loyalties on different sides, and people talk about things and all that kind of thing. So it might be that same group, it might be something else, but there's some kind of a breakup here. Now, yeah, you've definitely moved on from someone. You've moved on. Okay, so this is something that's quite specific. Again, my apologies if this isn't for you, but I'm getting this really clearly, so I have to say this for someone. I'm actually seeing someone playing two people off, or they were trying to do that. So what I'm getting here is there was a third party in a relationship for someone here. And so if that's you, I think when you found out about this third party or this playing around or whatever this is, it was like, no, I don't want any more to do with this. Because you're a straightforward person. You hate playing around, you hate messing around, you hate ambiguity. You're straightforward. You're straightforward, and you want one-on-one relationships. You don't want any messing around. So, and of course you didn't want to be around that. But I think maybe the switch went off in your head. Like you realize, I don't want to be around this, before you could actually move away. So you might have been around this for a little bit longer than you wanted to. And also you're not the kind of person that just goes around cutting people off. But I think you had to cut some people off here. Yeah, you had to do that. You had to do that because there were some people who were causing you problems, and I really think it might have something to do with this third party here, because it's about respect. I'm really getting that word here, respect. I deserve respect. I need respect. I should be respected. And obviously you weren't respected in this relationship, especially if you had someone cheating on you. Clearly they don't respect you, whoever this was. But it looks like maybe this third party, it feels like they were being really disrespectful, maybe even more than the person you were with for some reason. Because I'm getting someone causing a few problems here. Trying to kind of cause problems in your relationship, trying to be on top, trying to be the one that gets them and wins them over. And I think for you, you're out of this now. You don't want to be won over. You don't want to be dancing around saying, oh, choose me. You don't want that. You're out. If you're not the one, you are not in there at all. That's how you are. But yeah, that this person who was causing you problems and disrespecting you, I think it was this third party, because I'm actually getting that phrase loose cannon. Because, when someone's a loose cannon, it means they've got nothing to lose. And this person had nothing to lose. Because I think at one time they'd lost this person you were with, who they were with, this third party, if that makes sense. And they'd lost a lot of other things. They'd really lost out. And they'd lost their respect. That's what I'm getting. And they tried to take your respect away from you. That's what I'm getting. So they're causing lots and lots of problems here. And yeah, they were a loose cannon. They didn't care who they were hurting in the end. They were just out to hurt people because they felt hurt themselves. And yeah, you can see that in the Five of Swords here. You've got this really kind of greedy looking man who's kind of laughing, and he's hurting people, and he wants everyone's swords. He's so greedy. He's got all these people's swords. And he doesn't care how they feel, because you can see one of them's walking off away toward the water and he's crying. And this man with all these swords is just smiling. He just doesn't care. So, I think you just completely left this whole thing behind, like these two men, because they're walking away. It's like, I can't be around this person anymore. I deserve more than this. I don't want to be in this mess anymore. I'm walking away. So I think this is probably still causing a little bit of upset or unease around a group, this third party problem in this relationship. And yeah, it might be a separate group from this other group I was seeing. This might be a family here. So yeah, it might be that. I'm not sure. I know it's a little bit confusing, but I'm seeing two groups here. So I just want to say, sorry about that noise. Someone just yelled next door. Sorry about that. I'm trying to concentrate. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, I just want to say this for someone. If you've got people talking about you or gossiping or blaming you for any of this or anything about anything that's happened here, if you've been in a third party and it's not your fault, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. None of this is your fault. I want you to remember that, because it feels like someone might be taking sides. They might be trying to twist this around to make it look like it's your fault. And again, when you've got families, I'm getting a family here. when you've got families and they have these family loyalties and they see things in black and white, sometimes it can be quite nasty. And, so you might have someone coming up to you asking you questions, saying, oh, what happened then when you were with this person and you broke up? And what did the other one say? And what did they say? Wanting lots of gossip and things like that. You don't have to answer them. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't have to answer any questions. You're not in court. You've got the justice card here. You don't owe anyone any explanations. If someone really tries to press you with questions, just say to them, oh, I really don't want to talk about that right now. I really don't want to talk about that. Because once you open up and they start mining for information, because you get these kinds of people, then they ask you more, then they tell people. You don't need to be in any of that. This is the mess you're trying to get out of. So, yeah, I think, you're moving on. You don't have time for any of this rubbish. You're sorting your life out now. And the other thing I'm getting here is, have a look at this. You look at this King of Wands. He's sitting above the Five of Swords, where all the gossip, all the nonsense, all the rubbish is. Remember who you are. You're the king. You're wearing the crown. You're in the right. You've done nothing wrong. You deserve that crown. And you deserve that respect. You deserve that respect from everyone, not just this third party, not just this person you're in a relationship with, other people as well. Whether that's friends, family, anyone who's around you, you deserve respect from everyone. And the way you're going to get that is to not answer any questions unless that's what you want to do. Think about celebrities. They have all these people asking them questions. They don't have to answer the questions. They're above that. That's how you have to be if you've got these gossiping people around you. So, yes, okay, right. So I'm getting someone here. Right, this is nothing to do with this ex. This is a completely different person here. I've got someone who, they've got a big, big burden. I've got someone who really, really wants to talk to you here. You've known them in their past. They've known you in your past, I should say. So you've known them before. They want to talk to you, but they've got this big, big burden. They've got this big regret. Because have a look at this poor man here in the Ten of Wands here. So, he's got this great big burden, and so it looks like they're carrying around some kind of burden, some kind of guilt. Yeah, I'm getting that. They feel guilty about something. They want to talk to you. And I think you represent a happier time for them because you used to know this person. You represent a freer time, a happier time, a better time, because you've got the World card next to this, and that can be about freedom. And it literally looks like he's trying to walk across into the World card where you are, where that freedom is. But he can't see where he's going because he's got this big burden of wands in front of him. And so they're carrying this big burden and they feel as if they can't get to you, they can't talk to you because they're blinded by this burden. So that's what I'm seeing, and they can't really let this go. I think they're going to eventually. I think they are going to try and talk to you. But at the moment, they're caught up in all this. So I think in the future you're going to have this, if you know who this is, you're going to have someone try and lay down this burden and try and talk to you. It's someone you've had a few problems with, I'm getting that, because they do feel very guilty about something that's happened, but they're holding that in right now. So I think eventually, I don't know when, at some time in the future, you're going to have this person come in and talk to you, and they're going to try and ask for your forgiveness or lay this down. It's something like that, but they can't do that right now. So that's what I'm getting there. I'm getting something totally different here again for someone. So this is quite specific again. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place here. I'm getting all kinds of different things here, but this is for someone, so I want to say this. So what I'm getting here with this man in this Ten of Wands again is there's a deadline here. It feels like you worked really hard to do something. Now it might be, there's a lot of tiredness here. Now it might be a deadline for studying. It might be a work deadline. And what I'm getting here is you feel as if you've missed that. You've missed a deadline. It's like, oh, it's too late now. I've worked really hard. All my work's gone to nothing. Oh, it's awful. If that's you, if you've missed a deadline, I don't think it's too late for you. So call someone. I think you need to call someone, whether that's university, whether that's a workplace, it might be a client that you've done some work for and you've missed a deadline. It's not too late for someone here. So what I really want you to do is call them right now. Don't leave it for too late, because I think if you leave it for too late, it will be too late. But if you do it right now, as soon as you listen to this, as soon as you can, hang up, put your phone down and call them, because it's not too late for you. And I really, because I'm seeing a second chance here. So if you do call them, if you contact them, I think they might accommodate you and they might let you in just that little bit and let you do this at a later date if that's you. So if that resonates with you, please, please call this person, and don't be scared. Don't be nervous. Just do it. Just don't think about how nervous you are. Don't think about what you're going to say. Just call them and say, I'm really sorry. I missed this deadline. I promise I won't do it ever again. Can you please just give me another chance to get this done for you by this later time? I'm seeing that will work for someone here who's listening to this. Okay, that's all I'll say about that. I'm going to move on to your present. I'm really sorry. I've got someone next door and they're making all kinds of noises. First they said, ow, I heard it really loudly. Then they were dropping something. So I'm trying to concentrate on this. I'm really sorry. And I'm not going to stop this. I'm not going to edit it. Once I start, I want to keep going. Otherwise, it's not as authentic. So, right. So the first card you've got here for your present is the Seven of Cups here. So, yeah, very, very complex card. Can be about lots of problems, can be confusing. And it's funny because you've got the Emperor under this, and they're the opposites. This confusion and the Emperor. The Emperor's all about, straight down the line, discipline, army, major, things being in order. And, the Seven of Cups is the opposite. So, excuse me. There's this person here. I'm getting this again. There's someone here. They're thinking about you. They're thinking about laying this burden down. So they're really, really troubled about something they've done that you've been unhappy with. And they really, really want to come back. They want to come back and talk to you, and they want to lay this burden down. But what I'm getting with them is that there's a lot of confusion in their head, because I think deep down they actually like to be with you in a relationship. That's what I'm thinking deep down. But they've got this kind of, what I'm getting here is, at one minute they're thinking, oh, I've got this big burden, they'll never forgive me, it's really hard, how am I going to get rid of this, how am I going to explain myself? And then on the other hand, they've got this, oh, I can't think about that big burden, I'm just going to go into a fantasy world. Because that's what the Seven of Cups can be about. It can be about illusions and fantasy land and all that. So I think what happens is then they start going to this fantasy world about how they can be with you one day and how it's all going to be wonderful. And yet, do you know what this feels like? It almost feels like, when a teenager has a crush on someone, like an actor or a musician, and yeah, it's so they can play out their feelings in a safe way. Because realistically, a teenager isn't going to be able to go out with this actress or actor or whoever it is. But it feels good to imagine that. So I think that's what's happening with this person. They're doing what feels good to them. They're imagining being with you. They're imagining talking with you. They're imagining, having the world with you. And so what they're doing is they're going around and around in their head from this fantasy world to this burden to all these different problems. Because again, you've got this King of Wands right next to this as well. And, he's the King of Passion. So they're fantasizing about that. And it's the King of Action, so they want to take action, they want to talk to you. But if you look at this king, there's this lizard behind his head, and it's going around and around and around in circles. So they can't take action right now because they've got this burden there, they've got this guilt there, and then they go from that, between that and this fantasy world. It sounds like they're a bit crazy, actually, to tell you the truth. I don't think they are, but I think they've just got lots and lots of problems right now. And, with this Emperor here, this is what I think's going on. I think they're afraid of actually coming clean with you. They want to lay this burden down. They want to talk to you. They want to apologize, I think, to you. And they want to tell you that I'm a changed person, I'm not like that anymore. But they're afraid of you because you're coming up as the Emperor. So they probably think you're going to be angry with them. Yeah, you were really, yeah, this is what I'm getting. If this is you, it feels like you're really unhappy with something they did. Yeah, I'm seeing something repetitive. I don't know if this is going to make sense to you, but I'm seeing a habit or something they did over and over again, something you didn't like, and you told them to stop this and they kept on doing this, because I'm seeing something quite repetitive. And I'm seeing anger with you because you're coming up as this Emperor and you told them to stop this and they didn't stop that, they kept on going. So they're afraid of you, they're afraid of coming clean because they don't know how you're going to react to them. But yeah, they are going to come forward at some time because you have got the World card here. And that's about, you know, being open and coming clean and coming full circle, which is what the World's about. So they're going to do that. They're going to open up to you. So, you know, the other thing I'm getting here is because you're coming across as the Emperor, so you might be looking back on this situation and you might be feeling like, you know, maybe I was a little bit hard on them last time, looking back on this. Maybe I was. So it might be that by the time they come and talk to you, you might be softening a bit. So I'm getting a little bit of that too. But whatever this is, expect a message from this person, because you've got the Page of Wands here as well, right next to this World card. And pages can be about messages. But this is what I'm getting. There's some kind of behaviour. They were doing this behaviour and they were doing this over and over again when they were with you. You were very, very unhappy with that. You were very angry about that because you were the Emperor. You still are. You still don't like whatever that is or whatever that was. And if they're going to come towards you, if they're going to come towards you and they're going to come to where this World energy is, they're going to have to drop whatever that is if they want to even have a chance of talking with you. Because have a look across the bottom here again. I know I keep on telling you to look here and there, but have a look across the bottom horizontally, because you've got this man in the Ten of Wands and he can't get to where he is. He wants to get to the World card. He can't get there unless he drops these wands. So they're going to have to drop their habits, they're going to have to drop whatever this is you don't like, and they're going to have to not just convince you, but they're going to have to show you that they're a changed person, that they've dropped that old behaviour, they're not like that anymore, and they want that fresh start with you. Deep down, that's what they really want, the fresh start in the World card. But you're going to have to know they've changed. That's what I'm getting really, really clearly. Something has to change for them to get to you, and they're going to have to drop whatever that is and not just talk to you, not just tell you they've changed. You're going to want evidence of that because you've got this Justice card here right next to the Emperor. You're going to want evidence. You're going to want evidence. They're going to have to show you, they're going to have to prove to you that they've changed before you'll even think about entertaining this. But it does feel like you might soften a little bit. Because, you know, with this Emperor, it looks like you're thinking, well, maybe I was a little bit harsh with them. So I'm getting that kind of feeling around you. So it might be that you're happy to talk to them. But again, nothing is going to happen unless they can prove to you that they've changed their behaviour. That's what I'm getting now. I hope that makes sense to you if that's you. Okay, so the first card you've got for your future is this Three of Cups, which I love. But yeah, this is a really complex card as well. And, you know, a lot of people think this is about having a party. That's the simple version of this card. And I wish it was. I wish I could just say, oh, you're having a party, that's the end, goodbye. It'd be easy, wouldn't it? But that's not what I'm getting here. But yeah, it's interesting that this is right next to this confusing Seven of Cups here. Because what I'm getting here is I'm actually getting work, which is the opposite of parties, I know. But I think, you know, as a Capricorn, you like work. You know, you're a hard worker and you love achieving things. You love that challenge. You really love that. So for you, work might be a party, I don't know, but you enjoy your work. That's what I'm getting there. So I'm getting a little bit of a shake-up in a workplace, in a company. And yeah, a lot of businesses are really going through it right now. It's a really close friend of mine's just lost her business, actually. So I know it's really hard out there. A lot of people are paring down, you know, their staff and things like that. Very, very difficult time at the moment, I know.